Ho, 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 Merry Christmas to everybody who celebrates. This seemed like a great time for us to kind of look back now that we've gone through, as of the recording this, 101 teams in their offensive playbooks in our campus tour series to take a look at what I think are the 5 easiest offenses to run in this game. If anybody is new to the game, or if you're even just struggling on offense on what you've been doing, these are the 5 playbooks I think that just make life so much easier. We're going to go through the 5. I'm going to have some gameplay examples from when we use them in the campus tour, and then we're going to quickly go through practice mode in each, and I'll talk a little bit about why I think these playbooks are so easy, but still so gosh dang effective. And there's no real order to these 5, like it's not a ranking, it's just from when I used them most recently to when we used them furthest in the past. So first off, it's actually be a sneak peek for tomorrow's campus tour video with the Oregon State Beavers. I had to get my Oregon State Giant Killer shirt out for this one. Now, it should be no surprise that Oregon State is on here. Since the game came out, they've been probably the most meta offense, most meta playbook in the entire game. We finally got the chance to use them. Let's just check out the clip now, and then we'll head into practice mode. Yeah, this formation, the bunch A strong offset, at first glance is my favorite just because it's just like bunch halfback strong. You have the duo run, corner strike, RPO, pinball toss, flood, dagger. Like it's not even it is bunch strong offset, just called something a little bit different. So he's all pressed across the board here. Well, now he's not. I kind of want to put Hangerson out on something, but it's fine. Pass lead this inside to Durant, click on, secure catch, make sure we're getting that one. First down, Oregon State. I so rarely throw that streak. I can't believe I actually just did. I never, ever throw that streak. What we do have in here, this RPO is pretty good. I never in my life have thrown that streak. Let's see what this defense is looking like. No, we can't really. You just got to keep that with Hankerson. He's just going to bounce off and actually almost got in there. Actually went and made a play there against goal line. All right, we'll take it to the 2-minute warning. We're probably just going to run duo, and it's probably going to be a touchdown. We come out in duo. He's staying in. Yeah, he's got to drag that guy out there because it's manned up. He's staying in goal line. We are just going to run duo with Hankerson, and it's going to be a touchdown. Duo out of bunch strong offset, or apparently bunch ace halfback strong. Just the best run in the game, or pretty dang simple, pretty dang easy, right? That's one thing that's going to tie all of these together, and it's what we're going to go to first here, is a formation like bunch ace strong offsets, what it's called in Oregon State. In other playbooks, it's just bunch strong offset. This one, it has a twin tight end package, which I didn't realize when we actually played that game. I was wondering why one of our wide receivers wasn't in, that it would be why. But this formation is just such a good crutch. It's going to be in every one we talk about, by the way. So I do think that is important, having one formation that if you really need yards, you really need points, having one comfortable formation that you can go to not guarantee, but give yourself the best chance of getting those yards and getting those points. For me, that is bunch strong offset, bunch ace strong offset. But not every bunch strong offset is the same. The main thing we're looking for in these is three certain pass plays and 3 certain run plays. The run plays are going to be a pinball toss or a crack toss. I like either one. I don't think there's a gigantic difference between the two, but something we can take outside to our right if they're coming out in some mid blitz or something like that. We want an inside zone, an inside run going to the left, and a duo, an inside run going to the right. As we saw in that clip, duo is fantastic. It's probably my favorite just base run play in the entire game. So if you've got those 3 runs, we're off to a great start. Passing wise, the 3 passes we want to look for: corner strike, fantastic against man coverage, really good against a lot of zones too. That corner out B is on, really gets open a lot. There's not gonna be a ton of hot routing we do on these plays, usually just one. Corner strike, we take RB and put him on a streak. That's all we do. We're ready to go. The next one, flood, also very good against drop zone coverage. It can be good against match. We'll see that in the Oregon State game as well, but you need a little bit more patience on that to get open. But your tight end's going to get open almost all the time. The A route on this against pretty much any drop zone coverage. And then the last one we want is dagger. This is probably my favorite pass play in the game. I'm going to actually go through it here, show you how we set it up, because you could just run. I'm convinced you could just run this play every single play and beat 90% of people that you're going to match up with online. The only thing I will do here is hot route A, so hit Y and then A, take your tight end and flick your right stick up, put him on a post. So now we got a high-low between B and A coming out on this. The other thing you could do is you could put your halfback on a streak to sneak him back behind there. Really, really good against zone coverage because the drag it in the post and the streak RB is on is going to clear out a lot of space for us to throw this to Hankerson. But really, we're just looking at B or A right away here. Oh, see. Or they just all drop out and you've got your halfback wide open, especially with a team like Oregon State with a halfback like Hankerson. Going to be very, very good. So it's just that. This one's 2 hot routes if you want. You could block your halfback too. Either way is totally fine. You're typically going to get one of these two. So now we got our tight end wide open, coming over on the left there. Just a real easy high-low, simplifies the reads. We're not really looking too many places to try to find people open. We're getting people open on that play. I'm telling you, you could just run that. Then when you want to run the ball, run duo, and you will be golden out of this formation. And mix in this little RPO. This is a really, really good RPO, the alert screen. One of my favorite RPOs in the game, because usually to defend an RPO, what I like to do is put a hard flat on our slot corner. Not going to work against this one because it's not a bubble screen. It's going to our outside wide receiver. A or RB is going to go pick up a slot corner. It's really got to be that outside corner is the only one that has a chance to blow that play up. So bunch strong offset, something we are going to see in every single playbook. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it makes everything so much easier. But elsewhere in Oregon State, some other good formations we've got in here are going to be Y off trio close. This smash return, a very, very good play. You can just streak X on that. Dash flood and regular flood, I'm not the biggest fan of those, but the runs out of here I like a lot. 0-1 trap, you have another good RPO in here too. You have an outside zone that can go outside to the left, and inside zone going a little more inside to the left with the 0-1 trap, kind of running a little bit more like a duo, but with a left guard kind of pulling across there. That's another great formation Oregon State has. A lot of trips. I'm getting more and more comfortable with trips. I've never been the most comfortable with them, but like a trips tight end offset, very, very good. We do have a couple more bunches here, which we didn't really use a ton. Bunch strong nasty and bunch X nasty. But in any EA football game, you can't go wrong with a bunch. PA bunch shot. I personally like to cancel the play action pretty much every time. I just think if you keep the play action, by the time you can even throw the ball, most of the time that defensive line is right on you. So I like to cancel that one. But any sort of mesh concepts, especially more condensed formations like this, like mesh flat spot, defenses are going to have a really, really hard time guarding drags from like tight ends and where this X is lined up here, because he's a little bit closer to the offensive line than he is in like bunch A strong offset. You can see it even just in the play art. With him being more condensed like that, it makes mesh much, much better in my opinion. And you've also got a dagger out of here. See, here we have a crack toss compared to A strong. We have the pin pull toss. This is going to be your right tackle pulling and kind of your tight end working around to try to take that a little bit more outside, versus pin pull toss, which is your center and your right guard pulling. I think either one is mostly fine, especially against, I really will only do those if they're coming out in a mid blitz out of double mug or things like that. These motion wheel routes, like on vert shallow cross, all going to be very good. Motion bench double post, all going to be good. I mean, you just, anything with bunch. Just look for the word bunch and you will do fine. A bunch X nasty, and here's got a couple really good pass plays with drive halfback under. I would put RB maybe on a deep post or maybe even a streak, something just to get a little bit more depth between him and B, or else one user's kind of be able to guard both. Got a deep flood, good pass play, another good mesh play in there. So all the bunches in Oregon State, just those alone make this a very easy, very simple playbook. Then you get into some of the trips. We have trips tight end offset weak, read Y corner, also going to be very good against a cover 0, like a mid blitz. Anything where they're trying to send 6, because we have 6 blocking by default with our 5 offensive line and our halfback. Tight end to corner routes against cover 0. Absolutely destroy it. Good RPO in here. Verticals, really, really good, especially with the halfback leaking out behind all those vertical routes. Usually they're going to be carrying everybody deep. Going to leave a nice little easy check down to your halfback if you want one there. So I think that's really the main things for Oregon State. We've also got trips, trio for a wide receiver, tray for a wide receiver, like pretty much every meta formation in the game almost. You got some good doubles in here, but I just don't want this video to take 2 hours, so I'm not going to go through every single formation. But that is it for Oregon State. Now we'll move to The next team on our list, one that honestly caught me by surprise, but I absolutely love the playbook. I think it is fantastic. That is going to be the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. These tight slot formations I think are supposed to be pretty good too. Tight slots and halfback weak. But in this situation, I will call it a little bit just to mix things up a little bit. If I was really just, let's win this game no matter what, I would stay in bunch strong offset. But I think these are pretty good too. Go pick up that guy. Go take our yards, Campbell Jr., take us to the 30. And we're not in a rush here whatsoever. Pass-wise, we have mesh and we have post-wheel drag, both of which I think are pretty good. X-dig, that little corner route. Let's go with just a mesh spot. Stay in tight slots, halfback weak here. Maybe a streak on strong. Something like that. We should be able to just, yeah, snap throw this to our halfback just with how his defense was lined up. As long as nobody flew out to the left there, we were getting somebody wide open on that, and indeed we did. Now, 1st and 10 at the 15. I don't love that we got out of bounds there, but is what it is. Let's go to some post-wheel drag. I kind of almost wonder if a Texas route is better. Just to get something else going back to the left. Something like that. And our tight end wide open there. Just hang on to the ball, please, Weber. Another good stiff arm, but gets out of bounds again, saving him from potentially having to take a timeout, which is kind of unfortunate. Now, out of tight slots, it makes me laugh every time. We do have an inside zone. We have a mesh switch. We have bench. We have drive trail. Okay. I kind of like what we're seeing out of this formation here. A lot of this is utilizing Campbell Jr., but I actually don't hate that. Oh, he actually got in there and made that Superman tackle. I thought if we broke that outside to the left, we would be able to get out of there, but no, he did a good job. Good job flying out for that. Let's stay in this. Let's go to mesh switch. Yeah. I think I like this. I think. We got 96 speed Braithwaite going to the left, Strong going back, Weber going up, Sheffield on a corner. And just hit B right on that corner, get it to our 96 speed Braithwaite, get to that pylon, gets blasted a little bit, but gets in. Both from a depth chart and playbook perspective, I was very surprised, pleasantly surprised with Rutgers. They quickly became potentially my favorite tier 3 team. I love this team. I love this playbook. So again, we are going to see bunch strong offset. We're going to see that, like I said, in every single one of these. But having some more doubles, kind of like what we saw in Oregon State, they have a little bit more here in Rutgers, but really I'm going to start focusing more on what sets each one of these playbooks apart, not what they all have in common. We do have Y-off trio close in this one as well. Some more really good trips formations in here, bunch strong offset. But the more unique thing about Rutgers that I like a lot is 2 different trips tight end, offset and offset weak. I really like that. I like offset weak more against like a match coverage, because then you can just take your halfback, put him out on a route, and you're going to have too many routes going on one side of the field. Match can't cover all of them. Usually you're going to have your halfback pretty wide open against most match coverages. But Rutgers has tight slots and tight slots halfback weak. This was I think it was a little bit better in college football 25, but it's still really good in college football 26. Post wheel drag, we don't even have to hot route a thing on that. That is a fantastic, just stock, call it and run it type of play. Quick snap offense. Always going to be good for us. Read option is really good out of this formation as well. X out's a fine little pass play. Bench, you could throw another hot route on either A or Y, because as it is right now, they're kind of block and release. So if there is a big blitz coming, which this could be really good against cover 0, because you'll have all that extra blocking. You should have plenty of time in corner routes, destroy cover 0. But you also have X dig, all go, which can be all right against man coverage too. Wheel routes not as good as they were last year, but still have a good shot at getting open. And mesh spot, like we talked about with Oregon State, with how this lines up, defenses are going to have an impossible time to guard a mesh that is coming from number 0 on our screen here in our tight end. They're just not going to be able to do it. So mesh spot is going to be a fantastic pass play and a really sneaky RPO here, where you have 2 going to the flat and a slant going over the middle with just a regular inside zone. Always good to have a good solid run play in one of these formations as well. But that's a big reason that what makes post wheel drag so good is that drag route A is on. Almost always you're going to have that as just a safety check down. You have B that can potentially burn people deep. You have X going on kind of that deep dig as everybody's kind of clearing out. You can get X back over the middle. So tight slots halfback week, a very, very good formation Rutgers has. We also have just regular tight slots, which I don't think is quite as good, but like plays like drive trail. I love the looks of this play because we have that drag route on B and that deep in on A, kind of bringing everybody over to the left, and then a sneaky little kind of angle Texas looking route on our halfback coming back behind him. But then you have things like bench, another inside zone's a good run play, another mesh is really good, especially it's X on this isn't really on a drag like a typical mesh. He's more on like a shallow cross, which can be really, really good too, with a streak on A kind of pushing everybody back, then a shallow cross sneaking right underneath there. And you also have a quick base run where your right guard is going to be pulling, or your left guard, depending which way you want to run it, one of your guards will be pulling over to the other side. So that's a couple unique things in Rutgers that I think has a lot of potential, and then just so much trips. Like a lot of these college football playbooks have a lot of trips. So you really want to get comfortable in trips if you are doing challenges like I am, where you're going through and trying to win a game with every team. In college football 26, if you can get comfortable with trips, you'll be comfortable in a lot of different playbooks. This trips Y flex, I think, is a fantastic formation. That inside attack, super good pass play, a speed option, a read option, an off tackle. The only thing we don't have is like an inside zone run or something like that. But we also have the just regular trips tight end offset here. Mainly, I will go to this against double mug. I just think this is a really good counter against double mug. Plays like X under, get those corner routes, post routes, and in a formation like this, and bunch strong offset. This is another big reason which I like this formation, which I didn't talk about before, is we can block either our tight end or our halfback. So if you're sending 6 at us, we can block 7 if we really want to, but you never know if we're blocking the tight end or the halfback. Maybe we're sending both out. It can really put a lot of stress on a defense. We have some, you have single back wing, you got a pistol full house tight if you really want to get wild with it. But between the doubles, all the trips, the bunch, and the tight slot formation, however you want to play, you can play with Rutgers, which is another kind of common theme throughout every one of these playbooks. If you want to run the ball, you can. If you want to pass the ball, you can. If you want to mix between the two easily, you can. If you want to run with your quarterback, there are options you can do that in all these playbooks. That's a big reason why I like these. It's makes it very difficult for the defense to try to key in on what you're doing. So that is the Rutgers offense. Let's go. Let's see, who do we have next? My favorite trips in the entire game. Next up is going to be the Michigan Wolverines. And this tray offset, this is what I think is one of the absolute best trips formations in this game. Slot under, post, verticals, level sail, slot out, the runs, Y sail, cross dagger. I think there's a ton of really, really good stuff in here. We'll start off with just a run. Oh, get your way through there, Justice. Get your way through there, Justice. Fight your way through there. Even if he is a little cold, he'll take those. Coming out in cover 4. The only thing I do wish we had... Oh, we do kind of have an RPO, but it's not a great one. I don't love the RPOs. Let's go with slot out here. I'd love to be able to roll out to the right, but it's not looking like that's going to be a great option for us. I don't know what that button is. Just take it to RB. I did not know who that was back there. I'm so bad at remembering our buttons. We'll take the little rollout play. Nice little chunk of change gets us down to the 35. Mainly, I do want to kind of sit in this formation just to show how much I like it and how good I think it really is. Like yeah, let's go with cross dagger. Oh, that's not the right play at all. Okay, let's not go with cross dagger. Let's go with slot under. Yeah, I mean, it certainly looks like mid-blitz, doesn't it? And he's dragging that guy over there. It is not mid-blitz. We got B, though, right in that little window. Then juke him out. Cut it inside Morgan. Cut it back outside Morgan. Just like that. The best trips in the game. I'm assuming I included a clip of us using the trips, but maybe we didn't. Anyway, let's just go over Michigan. So we got a couple of very heavy shotgun formations right off the bat here with wing tight Z and wing pair, both utilizing 3 tight ends between the two of them. You got some good RPOs, some good runs. Of course, these are going to be more goal line, but you could sneak something like an all-go in here as well, tight end drive. So some good pass options out of their really heavy formations too. Always a plus. Always love that. Wing slot offset, I'm a big fan of this one too. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Get a good mesh play in here. Double post is pretty good. PA read, throw a drag on A and cancel your play action, and you are looking good to go there. Shallow mills, really good against like a cover 4 match specifically. That can be a 1-play touchdown. You got a lot of toss plays out of here, a lot of good run plays, some crazy motion run plays. The wing slot offset in the Michigan book specifically, because a lot of these I don't remember seeing in too many other wing slot offsets. Like the double motion stuff, I don't think you really I don't really love those, but the double motion toss I do kind of like, because they line up a little bit different, and the motion kind of can dumb the defense out a little bit and open up that toss going to the outside. But elsewhere, I never really run slot left and slot right. I know some people do and love it. I don't know. I just don't really mess with it. East X over is a pretty good formation here too. These RPOs are really good because we get that motion blocker going out as an extra lead blocker for our RPO. Makes it a little bit easier to get numbers and actually have success throwing some RPOs there. Get a good little inside zone run and that PA flood, very good pass play. So a few different sneaky RPOs in there. But what I really love about this Michigan book, obviously we have bunch strong offset. Again, we can just look through it. I believe we have all of our good plays in here. There's corner strike, there's dagger, inside zone, pin pull toss. You got a QB sweep in this one as well. So if you have a mobile quarterback, maybe this Michigan one's a little bit better for you. And we got duo. So we don't have the flood pass play, but we do pick up a QB crack sweep. So yeah, if you have a fast quarterback, maybe you want to look into Michigan, but we also got one more coming up that might be the best if you have a mobile quarterback. We got another bunch with bunch X nasty, but the trips we've got that I love so much is this gun tray offset. And this is only in Michigan and Middle Tennessee State. They're the only 2 playbooks with this formation, and in my opinion, this is the best trips in the entire game, tray offset. Shot, slot, post. If you have time, that is going to destroy so many zone coverages. You have the quick drag coming from your tight end. Again, always a good check down option for us to have. But then that really deep dig on Y and the really deep post on B, as long as you can get time, you'll get something open on that. Same thing with slot under. Obviously, we don't need quite as much time, but you could throw a drag on your tight end on that. That quick little slant underneath that the route B is running, very, very good. Easy to find a soft spot in zones, and that slants are also pretty good against man. And then kind of that deep corner on B, setting up a flood concept over on the left. If you put a drag on your tight end, always going to get open against drop zone coverages. Verticals, always going to be good. Verticals is another one of those plays you could probably call every single snap and have success with. Throw like a Texas route on your running back with how this is set up. You got the verticals dragging everybody up into the right, sneak a Texas route underneath with a drag route on your tight end. It's going to be very, very difficult to cover all every single one of those. Slot out, unbelievable pass play. We almost set up a little mesh kind of between our slot receiver Y and our halfback going out on an out route over there. You got the deep corner on B again, setting up another flood over to the left, and a deep dig on A, which maybe you could put that into a streak or a corner route or something like that. Get into the playbook, mess around with it, see what you like to do. But definitely get into tray offset, because this is by far my favorite trips formation in the entire game. Because I think a lot of these, we don't even have to hot route anything. Cross dagger, drag on A, shallow cross kind of route on B, and then that deep dig on Y, letting that shallow cross drag everybody to the right and open up Y over the middle of the field, and a deep out on X if they're playing just something like a cover 4. The purple zones on that are not going to get back to guard X, and the outside corner being on a deep blue is going to kind of just keep on running, is going to let X get open on just a super, super deep out route. So tray offset specifically is why I love this Michigan playbook. We actually ran this in our dynasty for a little bit. If you don't know, we do a 32 user online dynasty on our second channel, Old Man Trying Things. The link for that is in the description. And we had really good success with Michigan. I'm just addicted to changing playbooks. If I wasn't, there's a decent chance we would still be in the Wolverines playbook, because I just think their trips is so good. Even tray open halfback strong. This one's a little bit more common. You will see this one in more playbooks, but it is just a very good formation. Z under seams, very good against a lot of match coverages, a lot of zone coverages. Even man with that slant on the backside and that kind of sharp in that B B is on that route. So between the trips and the bunch strong offset, that's why I love the Michigan playbook. And we do have some spread. I don't use spread as much as I did last year, but I still am a sucker for some spread formations, especially plays like this double cross. Again, getting that mesh between our slot receiver on the right and our halfback there. I like to put a post on Y. I know technically that's not the right thing to do, but I just like to get a little bit more separation between our high-low reads there. Yeah, those are the main things in the Michigan playbook. We do have a couple pistol formations here and a single back. If you do want to run a more pro style offense, Michigan is probably going to be the best one. We're going to go over here today because we have a lot of single back and we have a few I form. We have wing over and we have tight and we have wing. So if you do want to do some under center runs, want to power run against your opponent, Michigan is probably going to be your best bet between the heavy shotgun sets, some of the pistol, the single back, and the I form. Not my game, but if it's yours, I think Michigan is a good answer for you. So now we got 2 playbooks left. Next up, let's go to, fittingly, after Michigan, the Ohio State Buckeyes. All right, let's go back to some box. I mean, verticals I don't mind. Cross post. It's just a halfback angle. Something like this. Is that base blocking? Just make sure nobody can come through completely untouched. Thank you. Thank you, Julian. Thank you, Julian. Thank you, Julian. That was one of the tightest windows we've tried to throw to yet. And he nailed that one. Thank goodness for you, Julian. I'm going to go back to... I should go to the split T here, but I'm going to go back to this verticals. It's so weird how it does that. Check our blocking. Just make sure nobody's come through untouched. Really, we're just trying to see if A... He can't throw over the middle. He can't throw over the middle. He just can't throw over the middle. That's what, 3? 3 this game now? Had him beat. Just unable to do anything. We can do a couple fake out routes here, just because we can, and then get those. Man, that guy flew back to the right there to make a play on that. Back and cover 3 match. His whip Y cross looks pretty good. I'm gonna try it. I should have gone to the split T down here. That's all right. We just need Satan to hit some of these throws over the middle. That's really what we need. I know that A route is typically pretty good at getting open, but it just hasn't been yet. Yeah, we don't. Set our base block, make sure that guy on the edge isn't coming through totally free on us. Pass lead that down, secure catch. There's that A route. There's that A route. The little like seam streak behind the tight end finally gets open. Obviously, Ohio State is the best team in the game. They're 92 overall, but in my opinion, I think they have the best overall playbook in the game. I love it. we do have the split T. If you really want to get crazy and run some split T splitscreek, and we made a video on that about a month ago, how you can run that. But shotgun wise, what they have that makes them special and makes them unique, like a little unicorn, butterfly, whatever you want to call them, correspond strong offset, is over here, box strong and box offset weak. I like offset weak a little bit better than box halfback strong because I think the pass plays are better out of it. But something else about this formation is, for whatever reason, the run blocking is phenomenal. Like, the run blocking is great, and you've got a lot of good runs in here too. You have just your regular inside zone, you got a read option if you got a faster quarterback, you have a wide trap where your right guard isn't going to pull across the formation for you there, and an outside zone to try to bounce it a little bit more outside. But the main thing in this formation is going to be the passing, specifically this play. I just saw it. There we go. Motion verts halfback angle. I think this is probably what we included in our gameplay clip, but I will go over it again because this is one of the best pass plays in the entire game. So we'll just call that. We'll put them in a random defense. What we want to do is just throw a Texas route on our halfback. So just hit Y, Y, up on the D-pad, Texas route. Between that, the crosser our tight end is on, kind of that deep cross RB is on, and that sneaky little streak A is on. Zone has no shot to guard this. Man is really going to struggle between the crosser and that Texas route. It's just a really, really good combination. If they're coming out and press man, we have Jeremiah Smith on the outside. I wouldn't recommend trying to run some press man coverage against a gentleman like that. So this is just going to be our basic setup. It's going to be nice and easy. Our main read is A right away. Because he's going to find, of course we drop that, because a lot of times he's just going to find a pocket right off the snap here, like kind of right there. We can just snap throw that and take our 8 yards. And sometimes it's even more than that. Sometimes we can really catch this sucker and run. So he didn't win on that. So we can go right over the middle and go to our tight end on that crosser. That was either a match or a man coverage. And that's another thing I like about this too, is it's usually pretty quick to tell what kind of defense they're in here. Oh, see, there goes A. There he goes. Just that sneaky little streak behind everything else. See, now they're running press. So first we look for Jeremiah Smith. He's not there, but then our angle route on our halfback is, and we can just juke him out. Washington State just won their bowl game the other day. I just thought of that. Congratulations to Washington State. But I love this play because we have the vertical threat of A. We have RB pushing everybody to the left, and then that angle route coming back to the right. So really just putting users in conflict, putting the entire defense in conflict. What are you going to guard here? What are you going to try to defend? Because you can't defend everything. And then it's really just about us making the read, because teams are really, people are going to have a really hard time guarding every single threat on a play like this. You just, honestly, I don't know how you could do it. I have no idea how you guard that play consistently. It's a big reason why last year UCF had this and why I loved UCF in the game last year. There are a couple teams that have box offset weak. I believe Florida State, which makes sense because they have UCF's old coach. And I'm actually going to check. I don't know who else all has it. Well, look at me. It is only those two, Florida State and Ohio State, the only two with box offset weak. Love this formation. If I was really like grinding leaderboards or something and really wanted to go to top 100 or something, I would use Ohio State. Mainly for this box offset week. If you combine this formation with bunch strong offset, which let's just check. So we got the pin pull toss, we have dagger, we have inside zone. The only thing missing from them, let's see, I don't see, we don't have corner strike, which is kind of devastating because that is my best man beating play at a bunch strong offset. But we have duo, we have inside zone, and we have dagger. I mean, you have Y trail, which could still be good. That RB corner out should still beat man coverage, just not quite as well. And we don't have flood, so they don't have the best bunch strong offset, but it's made up for by having box offset weak. Now we also do have box halfback strong, but I don't know. I like offset weak more just because the runs are going to be going towards where more of the blockers are, right? So if we're calling runs out of box offset weak, we have a right-handed quarterback. We want these runs going from right to left. So we would flip these. Now inside zone is going where our 3 guys over on the left are, versus box halfback strong, where if we run inside zone, we've only got the solo receiver on that side to kind of help block. Maybe that's why they're unblocking so much better. That would make a lot of sense. But we do have a lot of good pass plays out of box halfback strong too, with whip, Y cross, sit Z drag, and mesh rail. Motion meshes also give defense absolute fits, especially man defense, because they have to follow the motion and then try to keep up with a mesh. Can make things very difficult. But we do only have the 6 plays between these two formations. But I think box offset weak, this is another one of those formations, kind of like bunch strong offset. You could just sit in this for an entire game and do totally fine. You could just be in box offset weak, call middle high low, curl flat, cross post, halfback angle. Like, you could call every one of these pass plays. They're all pretty dang good. And then mix in some of the runs and you will be golden with the Ohio State offense. So you do have some pistol here with pistol spread. Got a couple single back formations. Actually, the single back is another reason Ohio State's really good. Specifically, which I think is a bunch tight end. There's one RPO in here that is just busted. It's so good. Yeah. Single back bunch tight end. Stretch alert bubble is an unbelievable play. Like, defenses are not going to be able to guard both the stretch and the bubble. You could call just this play an entire game and be fine, but then cross drag out of here too. Really, really good play. So you could definitely mix in some bunch tight end from single back if you are going to be running Ohio State. Verticals, you could throw like a drag on your tight end if you want to, put your halfback out on something, but then you have an inside zone run, the stretch alert bubble as a couple good run options for you here too to mix in with cross drag in the passes. Then you do have a regular single back bunch, but I don't love the plays out of here. to be honest. I think bunch tight end is 1,000 times better than single back bunch, at least when it comes to Ohio State. So the single back bunch tight end in the box offset weak in shotgun is why I love Ohio State. And that leaves one last playbook for us. My first favorite playbook in the game, because it was a team we used very early on, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I don't know. I haven't run a ton of it. We just try a pin pull toss or something here against a crack toss against double mug. We sure do. We sure do, love. We sure do, love. Go on, buddy. Love all the way to the house. Come out and double mug. We'll hit you with a crack toss. Touchdown, Irish. I'm going to come out in this cluster halfback off tackle. So he's not in double mug anymore. I was still going to try to attack the outside. But obviously that's not going to be as good anymore. But it doesn't even matter. The block set up perfectly. Love takes it in again. I told you we have got to rely on that run game. We've got such a good halfback. I'm going to go back to an inside zone. And I love the way it's shaping up here. If our big boys up front can do what we know they can. Oh, Jeremiah Love. Get out of here. This guy. Are you kidding me with this man? Probably overall my second favorite if I had to rank them. I still think it's Ohio State 1, Notre Dame 2. But we get some more of that heavy stuff like we saw in Michigan with wing tight Z, deuce close, deuce. So if you have a couple good tight ends, big plus to use Notre Dame's playbook. Because look how many 2 tight end sets we have. Wing slot weak, slot offset, wing, deuce, deuce close. Wing tight Z is actually 3 tight ends. So if you got some good tight ends, Notre Dame might be for you. But what I like about Notre Dame is the different running options we have in here compared to some other formations, and we have gun cluster, which is only in Notre Dame. So again, we'll just look at the bunch strong offset because theirs is actually quite different with some included quarterback runs. So you have a fast quarterback, you're comfortable running with your quarterback, you have a motion quarterback sweep where your halfback's actually motioning out to the left and you're trying to run a sweep out to the right, a motion quarterback zone where again, the halfback's doing that same motion, but it's a QB zone instead of QB sweep, and the trail double post using that same motion your halfback is on, but actually a really good pass play, kind of a speed out kind of thing on B. It's not technically a speed out, but it works pretty similar to one. The drag on RB and a kind of trail route type of thing on A with a couple posts over on the left. I want to say that's the only thing really different. Of course, we have dagger, inside zone, we have flood, we have the duo run, we have pin pull toss, which is probably what I showed in the highlight of how good the runs can be out of this formation against double mug, mid blitz, crack toss. So yeah, a lot of good stuff in bunch strong offset. But what they have that's unique, only Notre Dame has, is shotgun cluster. There are different versions of cluster. What's the other one called? Cluster halfback strong. That's the other one, which that one's in a couple other playbooks, but the only one which is regular gun cluster is going to be Notre Dame. And they've got some devilish little plays in here. Irish mesh whip. Anytime a play is named after the team you're looking through, it's going to be a pretty good play. It looks like it's setting up a mesh between X and A, but A is actually going out on a return route. We got a shallow crosser over there on RB and a little sit route on B. Mesh post. Mesh. If you like mesh, you're gonna like this playbook. You're gonna like Notre Dame. Z spot is pretty similar to corner strike, that kind of sharper corner route RB is on. Absolutely will toast man coverage. Same thing with Z spot shake. It's just the only difference is the route B is on and X and the halfback. I guess that's kind of a weird route the halfback is on. on Z spot. PA read automatically just setting up a high-low there between our drag and RB and a deep cross on B with the streak on the solo side to push any zones back. Really does a good job of opening up B as long as you got enough time to kind of let him get underneath that streak X is on. Cluster bunch, fantastic pass play. So cluster, very good. They've got a very good bunch strong offset. Like I said, a lot of it is more running with your quarterback. But elsewhere, we've also got tight Y off flex and tight open. These are in other playbooks, but it's the combination of having them all in Notre Dame that I just absolutely love. We've only got 6 plays in here, but we got a few really good pass options between Y cross and flood levels. You got an inside zone run, you got a read option. I'm not the biggest fan of inside zone split runs, but luckily, we just got a regular inside zone in here. Tight open, another fantastic formation. A few different motion plays right off the bat. Got a good speed option. So Notre Dame, you definitely need a faster quarterback who can take some hits and get out and run a little bit to really be able to run Notre Dame. But if you have that, this playbook's fantastic. Slot post is probably the one. I've said it a few times. It's the best, but it's up there with the best just stock pass plays. You don't have to hot route a single thing out of slot post to make that a viable play. So it's really, yeah, they're a combination of bunch strong offset with the quarterback runs, having gun cluster, tight wild flex, and tight open. Between those, Notre Dame's playbook is unbelievable. You got pistol wing, U off trips, Y off trips. You got a little bit of wildcat if you really want to get crazy on them. But yeah, that's it. Those, to me, having used 101 out of 136 teams, we still got 35 to go. The rankings could change a little bit, but in my opinion, these are the 5 just easiest. If you're brand new to the game, what playbook would I tell somebody if they came to me and said, hey, I'm playing for the first time, I haven't played since Madden 12, for example, what playbook should I get in? Any one of these 5, very easy, very simple. You can get yards, you can get points. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little breakdown. I will see you guys next time. We got Oregon State campus tour coming on Saturday. We got our full Rutgers playbook review coming on Saturday. Yeah, the Oregon State campus tour is Friday, tomorrow. Rutgers playbook review is Saturday, and then more campus tour coming on Sunday. Will be kind of back on our regular schedule around New Year's. Might get a little funky, but that'll do it for this one. I gotta quit yapping. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you next time. Until then, take it easy.